everybody, it's Kaylin here at Full Purpose in Heart, and in this video I'm going to share with you guys what I've picked out for my second graders school year, for our homeschool year. So if you're interested, if you're looking for some second grader curriculum, I'm hoping that this video will show you a little bit of what's out there, what I've picked it, how I've kind of like put a different stuff together and that sort of thing to encourage you or give you some inspiration as to what direction you may want to go with your homeschooler. So anyway, if you're interested in this content, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before I jump right into it, I'm gonna start out by letting you know that when I listen to these videos, and I watch a lot of them when I'm going through to pick out my schooler's curriculum, usually what I do, I just wanna show you right off the bat, this is how I do it. It is a hot mess, right? Now, I don't expect you to read all of this, but I get a piece of paper and I write everything that I watch. So if somebody says something or shows me a curriculum that I've never seen before or I'm interested in or it kind of like moves me, then I'll write it down on my paper. And then throughout the next several weeks and months as I'm thumbing through what it is I want to choose, then I'll know some specific either publishers or curriculum or books or something that I want to kind of look at a little bit deeper. And then when I choose something that I want, then I'll highlight it. I'll put prices next to it so I know kind of how much it is. Bounce around, look at all different places where you can buy it so you can get the best deal, okay? So that's what I would encourage you to do as you watch my video and other videos about curriculum. If something that I point out moves you, then you want to write it down, and then later you can go back and research it a little bit more, see if it's in your price range, see if it kind of covers what it is that you're hoping that can be covered when you go through your school year, okay? One more thing, little disclaimer, is that if you have followed my channel at all, this is just what I plan to use and how I'm going to start our homeschool year. But like every homeschool year, it's always moving and changing, so you just never know what will stick and what will go by the wayside, how long it will work, and all that kind of good stuff. So this is in no way a sponsored video to say, buy this curriculum, it's gonna work for you guaranteed, because I don't know for sure if it's gonna work for me. But this is what I've picked out, and hopefully it'll work out and you can get some ideas, okay? I got a lot of stuff on the floor here, so I'm gonna try to not make this video too long. All right, so first and foremost, I'm gonna start out with our Bible time. Now, I don't actually do Bible as a part of our school day. I actually just returned from a homeschool convention, and one of the points that they made that I really loved was to beware of making your Bible time feel like just another subject or a check mark that the kids have to do during their school day. That's not to say that you can't do Bible time during your school day. Of course, that's a great time because you've got your kids and you're gathered around your school space or your table or whatever. But just to make sure that the purpose of Bible time is to teach your kids how to love God and love Christ and apply those principles and gain a testimony and have a desire to serve Him and worship Him past their schooling days when they're in your home, okay? So we actually do Bible time at the end of our day. When my husband's home, we have family devotions at the end of our day. But I thought I would include this here because many of you may be interested in what it is that I use. This is a curriculum that I get that's offered from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I will put a link below of most, or if not all, of the curriculum I'm using in the description box below so you can access it easily there, okay? So this is the curriculum. It's the Come Follow Me curriculum, which focuses on the New Testament. We will be doing this through December. So you use any version of scripture that you want, and then it goes through and it has really great applicable teaching points that you can do for 7 days. And we do it Monday through Sunday, and then we start the new week, okay? So anyway, this is what I'm going to be doing. I will try to do a look in the book a little bit deeper into this for those of you who are not members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and may be interested in using this curriculum. It is, obviously very broad. You can teach it to any foundation that you want to, and it's a fantastic way that you can teach all of your grade levels at the same time, which is a huge part for me because I've got really little kids and then I've got my second grader who's my oldest. But you can teach from babies and preschoolers up through your high schoolers. This curriculum is across the board. You buy it one time, super cheap, and then you can teach all of your kids. And it's the New Testament, which, everybody who wants to have a Christian faith based curriculum. The New Testament is a huge part of that. So anyway, it's called Come Follow Me. Go ahead and check that link below, and that's what we will do for our Bible study throughout the rest of the school year, or until December. Then in January, we'll have a new curriculum, same title, but it will focus on the Book of Mormon. So, okay, here we go. Where do we begin with the rest of this? I'm going to start with English. Now, the first one, I don't have anything to show you because I've decided to go with distance learning for our English foundation, or our like bulk curriculum for English. I'm using the publisher BJU Press, or Bob Jones University, and it's their English 2 distance learning. So my son will have a workbook, and then his lessons will be online. I've hired an English teacher, if you will. I really feel like through our first grade year, we had a ton of holes. Go back, watch Our Homeschool Life video for 2018, 2019, and you'll kind of be able to see how that progression happened. But we had a ton of holes, and so I really wanted to invest a little bit more money to try and fill those holes and have a more cohesive curriculum for that. So Bob Jones University, again, check the description box for that link. To kind of couple up with that, I've got a couple of other things. This is my handwriting curriculum I've chosen for this year. It's the Good and the Beautiful Handwriting. This is your level 2 book, and I am excited about this because it was affordable, and it really just is your basic handwriting practice. I want to continue practicing handwriting in addition to what he's doing with Bob Jones University, because he will have work pages that he's doing, but this will just be something that I'm going to slip into his folder. So to see how I organize the school year, you'll want to check that video. It'll be coming up here in a little bit. So it's depending on when you watch this video, you'll want to look for that and see exactly how I'm organizing his school day and how he'll get all of his stuff for the day. Okay, another thing we're going to couple with that is his spelling curriculum. I'm going to use Spectrum Spelling this year. This is grade 2. I got it on Amazon. And then I have made up a bunch of, they're called like spelling menus. I should have printed them off and showed you. But so in this curriculum, there's going to be like, I think there are 4 pages per spelling list of activities that you can do. But in addition to that, I'm going to add one school day where he's going to choose from this menu map, whatever, an activity that he can do with his spelling words. I went to a workshop that was led by like a learning therapist or instructor, I guess you could call her, and she had 5 fantastic spelling activities that you can do to help your kids learn their spelling. So I'm going to include those in his spelling menu along with some other fun things that he can do with his spelling words, and then hopefully we'll be able to move along with some better spelling, because right now he doesn't want to write very much because his spelling is so rough. So anyway, we're going to try and fix some of those wobbly words and get a little bit better in our spelling. Reading is also kind of a part of the language arts. This is a little bulky, so we'll get started here. I have mostly read alouds. Words that are books that I'm going to read to him, and then some books that I want him to read on his own. So I bought the Magic Tree House series. We've read the first 2 books this summer, and we have loved them. Kind of a little hint if you want to do it. I got this is from Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm a huge believer of supporting, small businesses and other teachers and developers of curriculum. Of course, I buy the big box curriculum too, but I often go to Teachers Pay Teachers to find some goods that I can supplement my curriculum with or provide an entire curriculum, and you'll see that a little bit later when I show you what I've got for another subject. Anyway, this is from Violet Tabitha, and it's like, oh my gosh, there were probably like 50 or 60 pages in this PDF for this particular book, but she's just got like reading comprehension pages. She's got diagrams for, compare and contrast, or reflection, and here's a sequence, like cut and paste activity, tons of good stuff, and she's got them for a ton of the books. I think that the highest I saw was 25, like book 1 through 25, but it probably goes higher. I just know that you could buy that bulk of books 1 through 25, all of the pages for it. And I only bought this one, which is for the second book, but So fun. My son really enjoyed it, and he answered the questions as I was reading the book to him, so he enjoyed that too. So anyway, we're gonna, I will offer that as one of his options to read aloud. Another thing with those Magic Treehouse books, this is a Scholastic publication, and it's called Teaching with Favorites. Magic Treehouse books. Anyway, inside it's just got lots of like activities, lesson plans, ideas that you can do as you read the book. Not only for reading comprehension, but just as like reading activities or whatever. Anyway, this was also a really great find. So if you're interested in looking up that, I'm sure it's where most books are sold. Okay. I've got a bunch of read alouds here, and I'm just going to show them really quick to give you ideas. When I first started homeschooling, read aloud was like a new concept for me. I didn't really know anything about it. So I literally was going onto YouTube being like, what are read aloud books? What do you do for read alouds? So anyway, here's a bunch of read alouds that I've picked for my second grader. And most of them I'll read to him. Some of them I'll have him like, I read, you read kind of activities, that sort of thing, just to continue improving our reading. So anyway, here's what we got. Charlotte's Web, The Hardy Boys. I have books 1 and 2 for The Hardy Boys. The Chocolate Touch. Let's see. Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Stuart Little, and then Gulliver's Travels. I actually had Gulliver's Travels from last year. We just never got to it, so I threw it in the mix for this year. And then also for reading, we're going to do a unit. I have 5 in a row, which I'll be doing with my preschooler. My second grader will kind of come alongside for that. And then we're also going to do an Aesop Fable kind of section or unit. So I got, this is a Evan Moore publication, and it's just a bunch of like literature pockets, they're called, and activities that go with a bunch of the Aesop Fables. So we're going to do that. And then I also, this will go in his like learning binder, and it's just a daily activity. They're called Skills Sharpeners, and it's just a story and a lot of other activities that go with that story. Okay? I think that covers our language arts section or subject, okay? That's a lot of stuff for reading, and of course it will span the course of the year. But there you go with all of that. Okay. Let's talk about kind of moving from the language into our second language. I'm going to start teaching Spanish. Now, I looked at a lot of different ideas or subjects for Spanish, and there were some that I really loved. I just couldn't afford. You know, I looked into Rosetta Stone. I looked into BJU Press has a language one, as well as Abeka, and I really liked what I saw. I just couldn't afford it, and I didn't really have, I don't know, the energy, I guess, to dive into really teaching conversational Spanish. So I went with this. This I just got off of Amazon. It's called The Complete Book of Spanish. It's made by Thinking Kids. Anyway, and it's just basic words. So it's a very basic introduction to Spanish. And this will be something that we're going to do mostly during our circle time. I'll teach him the basic Spanish, like colors and, you know, adjective or adverbs. And I think there's a unit about like classroom objects and the alphabet, obviously, and that sort of stuff. So anyway, we'll do it at circle time, and then I'll throw one of these worksheets in his learning binder. So he'll kind of review on his own, and then I'll teach him during our circle time. So we will be getting a small dose of Spanish this coming year. Okay? Math is another core subject. We're going with Horizons. No surprise there. I did a look in the book for this if you want to look into Horizons. I've really liked Horizons. We started Horizons in kindergarten, and now we're going to go and do our book too. So it's been a really great find for us. I'm going to couple that with The Good and the Beautiful multiplication songs. And so they're two different companies, obviously, but we'll listen to these just to kind of learn those multiplication facts to music. So just kind of differentiated learning a little bit. So anyway, that covers our math. That's really quick and easy. Social studies. We're going with Heritage Studies number 2. We did Heritage Studies 1 last year, and I really enjoyed teaching it. This is the teacher's manual. I also have the student book, but I don't have the activity guide, nor do I do the distance learning program. I teach this myself to my kiddo. I am a history teacher by trade. That's what I did back when I did public school. So I love writing my own curriculum and developing my lessons from this curriculum manual. And it's been lots of fun. I've got some good activities and fun things we're going to do. One of the chapters is Plymouth, so I thought I'd throw this in here really quick. I bought this last year because we did Heritage Studies 1 and talked about Plymouth. So we're going to finish, when we do Plymouth, we'll finish this book. So you might have to go back and watch that video to understand. We only did half of it before, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, so we'll pick it up again and kind of finish with the Plymouth Studies with that book. Again, that's an Evan Moore publication if you're interested in looking deeper into that. And I believe I did a look in the book, so I'll link that video above if you want to look further into that History Pocket resource, okay? Last but not least is my science subject. I searched high and low and in and out and struggled with finding what I wanted to do for science. And I'm really excited and happy with what I found. I went to Teachers Pay Teachers and I've purchased a 5-unit curriculum that was written by a teacher, obviously, and that's what we're going to use for our curriculum. So I'm actually only going to do 4 of her 5 units that she provides, but let me show you what we've got here. So the author, her name is Tara West, and again, it's Teachers Pay Teachers, and it comes with these subjects. So it's, what do we got? Discovering habitats. Oops, that's not going to help you. Hold on. Properties of matter. What else do we have? The states of matter. Gosh, this isn't very organized like I thought. Here we have weather. Okay. It comes with, you'll see, I've kind of got it together. These are like books that you read to your kiddo during the lesson. These are vocabulary pages. And then she also has like a student manual, like a student work text that I just printed off and then made the little cover for her. Now this part right here, the actual cover I made. That doesn't come when you buy it. I made this cover part, but all the pages on the inside are hers. So anyway, it's just going to be really great. And then the last one we're going to do is Plant Life. This is the teacher's manual. These are the books that I read, and then I've got my vocabulary things here. These are like vocabulary cards that you can like put up on a pocket. She's got some activities that you do in there, and these are the actual lesson plans. So anyway, I'm really excited. Follow along when I do our homeschool life updates through this next coming year, and you can see how this material actually works in my classroom, but I'm super excited about it. Here's another example of like a student manual. Again, the cover part I made, that's just, on a, word processing document, but then the pages themselves are hers. So I'm really excited about that. And then what I did is I went through each of those lessons and kind of supplemented it with some other stuff that I happened to have. So some of them I'm going to be reading out of the BJU Press Science. This is Science 1, but the topics are the same. I think that the matter, there's some chapters here in matter and some chapters here in weather, so we're going to supplement with that. I also have this to kind of go along with it. Again, not every lesson, it won't be from, the page 1 to the back, but it's just kind of supplemental. So I think there's some stuff about matter in here. Gosh, I can't remember, but I went through and just coupled it with whatever was going on. I also have this. This is actually going to go in his daily learning notebook as an independent review. So this is called Daily Science, and he will be able to do this with whatever subject that we're doing for that course of study. So if we're talking about plants, then I'll throw the plant pages in there. When we're talking about weather, then I'll throw the weather pages into his notebook. So anyway, that's what I picked up for that. And last but not least for science is I grabbed this. This is incredible, indescribable, 100 devotions about God and science. And I went through this book and page by page and wrote down when the devotion was about whatever subject we were talking about, whether it was space or weather or the human body or whatever it was. And then we'll be able to read those subject-specific devotions as a part of our science day and kind of connect it with God and how God is a part of all things, and because all things prove that there is a God, and that kind of kind of study. So anyway, I see here on the floor I missed one of my books on the Over the Hill to Nugget. I made a lat book with this book, but we haven't ever got to it yet. So I'm putting it on the list for 2nd grade, and hopefully we'll be able to read that book too. So anyway, there you go. There's everything that I've got for 2nd grade. I'm really excited to get started. I still have to iron out how our school day will go, how smoothly it will run. I'm not sure yet, but I am looking forward to kind of getting all this stuff open and ripped out and getting it started for our new school year. So make sure again that you tune into Our Homeschool Life so you can see how this curriculum works when we actually put it into action. Sitting here on the floor, it looks really pretty and perfect, but when you rip it out and actually start using it, sometimes it falls apart and sometimes it works to the end of the year. So hopefully we've got a good groundwork that we can build on. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so as we begin another school year. I've got my 2nd grader, obviously, and then we have a junior kindergartner or pre-kindergartner that we're going to be doing this year as well. So it'll be an exciting year, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all unrolls. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in another video.